How Conor Benn beats Chris Eubank Jr. It's fight week, and we're days away from this highly anticipated rematch, and let's be real, all the pressure's on Conor. He really needs to pull one back for the Benn family, and today I'm going to break down the key tactics he needs to employ to come out victorious. If you're new to the channel, my name's Lawrence Oswecki, a professional boxer, and also former member of GB amateur boxing team. For me, this is one of the biggest fights in British boxing. There's no other fight that has the same history. The rivalry starting with the dads, two British boxing legends, huge personalities, but completely opposite, chalk and cheese. If you go back and watch the fights or their interviews, the way they clashed was just gold. They literally hated each other, especially Nigel Benn, exactly like Conor hating Chris Eubank Jr. Because that confident, arrogant persona, which I personally love, but being on the other end of it is a different ball game. It's great as a fan to spectate, but being on the receiving side, it's not so fun. In their first fight, Chris Sr. won by stoppage, and naturally, it cut deep. For Nigel Benn, getting beat off this arrogant showman was hard. And when they finally got the rematch, it ended in a controversial draw. And naturally all that hurt and frustration is spilled into Conor because he would have heard countless stories. Because his dad, the man he looks up to, his hero, was robbed. And then Conor getting into boxing, wanting to get that revenge for his dad, and then failing is a bitter pill to swallow. The pressure he's under, it's massive, because if he loses again, he's going to have a lifetime to live with it. It's crazy that Chris and Conor fight with such heart, because they didn't come from the stereotypical hard background. They were both privileged. They both slept with silk pajamas. Chris went to private school, yet they're so tough and show grit. That normally comes from hardship, but it just goes to show it's in the DNA, in the blood. Okay, let's talk about the tactics and adjustments that Conor must make. That's only if he doesn't want to spend the rest of his life having sleepless nights. The first thing that Conor needs to do is relax and be more efficient with his movement. In the first fight, he came out like a Tasmanian devil, moving too much, tense, wasting energy. It's the reason why Conor faded in the second half of the fight, because he didn't pace the fight. You can see here, everything he does is big movements, in and out of range. Even when he's out of range, punching distance, he's still bobbing and weaving. When you're in range, keep your head moving so you're not a static target, but out of range is a waste of energy. You've got to learn to relax, be efficient with your movement. It's a 12-round fight, not a 3-round sprint. It's professional boxing, not the amateurs. You can see here, a lot of movement, but not a lot of punching. Where's the punching? It's all this. Number 2, manage the distance better. He was either too far away or too close. You see here, you see in there, he swung a punch from one side of the ring to the other. Let's see it again. Hey Chris, I'm coming. And I'm not talking Bonnie Blue style. A lot of the time Conor was standing at Chris's range on the end of his jab. As the smaller man, you've got to be busier, work your way in. You see here, he's at Chris's range. He's not in a position to punch back. In number 3, he's got to use his jab. Despite being the smaller man, it's essential. For most of the fight, he didn't use it, and he let Chris dictate the action. See, that was a lovely jab there from Conor, coming up with the jab. When you're the smaller man, you can slip with your jab, so their jab goes over the shoulder and yours lands. The jab's so important, it keeps your opponent thinking, off balance, and it measures the distance. A lot of the time Conor was throwing single jabs, which is no good as the smaller man. You've got to double it up to work your way in. The jab's like a measuring tool, because when the jab lands, you know that the backhand will also land. Boom. Every time Conor did use his jab, he got success. You see there, he measured with the jab, then bang. We'll take another look. He lands the jab, then bang. Then he steps in with a lovely 1-2. The jab measures the distance, but it also blinds your opponent. Then you sneak your backhand behind it. Oh, and then it led to that left hook where he shook Chris. The whole sequence that led to hurting Chris came from the jab. The most important punch in boxing. By measuring the distance, starting your attack closer gives your opponent less time to see the punch coming. When you lunge in from a distance, your opponent's got plenty of time to block or step back. Essentially, get out the way. Also, when you get the distance right and you're in the correct range, you can take advantage of your opponent's mistakes. And when Conor got it right, he was able to take advantage of Chris's low lead hand. You see there, he comes over the top of Chris's jab, he times it perfectly, and it's all because he got the distance right. You can see here, he edges in with his front foot. That's another way to measure the distance. You know when your front foot is close to theirs, you're in range, punching range. Just watch the lead foot. He's edging in, then bang. He was able to take advantage of Chris's mistake. You know, jabbing to the body and not getting his hand back. Having a low lead hand can draw your opponent in, but it can also leave you vulnerable. And Conor takes full advantage. I've lost track, but I think number 4 is using feints. Using feints keep your opponent thinking, creates a reaction, and creates openings. Early in the fight, Conor was using them, but sometimes out of range, which is no good. But in the second half of the fight, he didn't use them at all. You see here, the feints create a reaction, force Chris to punch. The mistake Conor made, he made him miss, but he didn't make him pay. Which takes me to number 5. He didn't put his punches together, punches and bunches. Everything was loading up with single punches, looking for the knockout. But because he loaded up from out of range, it was easy for Chris to see. Every time he got success, it was when he put them together. He nearly hit the light in the arena. It's all just singles. In the final mistake he made in the second half of the fight, when Chris started to walk him down, he fought fire with fire rather than using lateral movement. You seen right there, instead of getting off the line, rolling under, he tried to fight fire with the bigger man. It doesn't make sense. Trying to wrestle a bigger man drains your tank more than theirs. He let the bigger man just push him straight back, rather than getting off the line. He would have made his life so much easier. Don't get me wrong, at times you've got to trade, but get your shots off, then roll out, then get the shots off again, then move. Don't just stand static in front of the bigger man. And I know it's easier said than done, but if he can apply just a few of these tactics, it'll make all the difference. So just to recap, more calm and controlled, more smooth, not big, unnecessary movements. It's just a waste of energy. Use the jab more, keeps your opponent thinking, measures the distance, and sets up your attacks. Use feints, because again it keeps your opponent thinking, off balance, creates a reaction, and sets up your attacks. Not loading up, looking for the knockout, he's got to be smart and put punches in bunches. Trust me, any fight I'll say, when you go looking for the knockout, it doesn't come. You've got to be smart and relaxed and let it flow. Generally speaking, the knockout comes when you're not trying. And the final thing, lateral movement. Don't stand in front of Chris. And the hardest thing for Conor, because he acts like the world's against him, is controlling his emotions. If you can't do that, the rest can't be achieved. Even in the face-off, Conor said, Chris living the life, partying, and still beating him. You know it cuts deep. He made a joke of it, but you know it keeps him up at night. Conor got success in the first fight. It was competitive, but Chris has got the experience. He's got to be smart. He can't rely on just being the younger, fresher man. In theory, Conor should be better in the rematch, because in the first fight, he was going into the unknown. He went up in level, up in weight, so in theory, he should be better. But in theory, I should be a world champion, a millionaire. But life doesn't always work out. In all the mind games that Chris played first time round, surely can't have the same effect second time. You know, saying he's a drug cheat can't have the same effect. And by the way, I don't blame Chris for keep bringing it up, because in a dangerous sport like boxing, it can't be accepted. Liam Cameron, he got a 3-year ban for a recreational drug, you know, not a sports enhancement. The difference was, Conor had the financial ability to fight it. But the problem was the way Conor reacted, like it was everybody else's fault. He didn't take any ownership. I know as a fighter, when you get your pro license, you've got to do a seminar to teach you how to be a clean athlete and not fail a test. So the ownership's on you. So if you fail a test, it's your fault. End of story. But anyway, my point's been made. Let's move on. So really, all the mind games have been done. He's been hit with an egg. He's been called a drugs cheat. He had the surprise or shock of Chris's dad turning up. It's all been done. So again, in theory, all the different layers that Conor had to deal with this time round should be a breeze. People said that Conor should have went a different route, chased world titles, but the pull of the money, in avenging a loss, it was too much. And to be honest, I don't blame him. But the question is, was a weight-drained Chris Conor's best chance? In the fact that he underestimated Conor because he said going in, he only needed to be 60%. But Conor does look in great shape. He's been sparring my old Team GB mate, Troy Williamson. And Troy's the English super middleweight champion. He's a great fighter and strong. And Conor showed in the first fight, he was in great condition. He just didn't pace the fight. It's not about fitness, it's all about tactics and controlling that devil in him. And before I finish, it's been announced that Moses Itauma will be fighting Jermaine Franklin next year, the 24th of January, in Manchester, headlining the Magnificent 7 card. It's a great fight for Moses, a great learning fight, and someone that should give him rounds. The problem I've got for a young prospect, he's only fought twice this year, it's no good. He's had 13 fights in 3 years. Comparing him to Mike Tyson, he had 15 in his first year. Activity in boxing and in sports in general is so important. Competing, regular competition can't be replaced. It's like in football, being match fit. You don't have to have a training camp, you're always ready. And trust me when I say, staying fit and ready is easier than having to get ready. And yes, I do know that Moses is young, but he's an exceptional talent, and I just believe he can be moved quicker. He's ahead of the game maturity-wise. I just think he needs to capitalise on his talent. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Tell me your predictions. Can Conor get one back for the Benn family and possibly set up a trilogy? Okay, calm down. Let's just look forward to this one first. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.